Hey, good morning, guys. It's Phil Bailey. I have a really important vlog here. I just had the biggest epiphany working on my sacred final for, well, sacred geometry, and it's right there. That's an oil painting. I'll post links in this video to get better shots of it. I'm also going to play a little bit of the song, and I'm going to explain kind of the movement and also, wow. So, me as an architect, I am the kind of student and designer who really puts all of my work into what I do. Sorry, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, so forgive me. But what I'm trying to say is, I really put more than just wanting to get a good grade out of an assignment. I'm going to try hard. I'm going to really go above, break some boundaries, and I'm going to even fail, for the sake of doing art that is truly my own, that I really stand behind. I think that as artists, we need to all stand behind our work because it defines us. And a lot of my peers were talking with me about the difference between doing work for you and doing what they want you to do and to stand out. Now, in my program, being an architect major, a lot of times when we have to do creative work, we get to just do whatever we want. They don't even tell us what to do. Literally, it's like, okay, so I want you to design a pavilion to go in this space in San Francisco Bay Area, somewhere, some location, some lot. And basically we have to do research. We got to look at Google Maps. We're provided some, site map or some floor plan, possibly, but not always. Sometimes we have to really dig and make our own observations. That's part of being an architect. Is they're not going to spoon feed you anything. They don't even really spoon feed you instructions well enough. So a lot of students will fail. A lot of students will not be happy. This is the stuff that I love. So to stay on topic, I started off with this vision as a child. It probably really became more clear around between 6th grade going into high school. No, sorry. It was between 6th grade when I transferred from one middle school to the next, and I had pretty much moved away from all my friends. I lost a lot of stuff because I went to a new neighborhood, new type of culture, just a lot of changes for me then. And moving to this new area, I actually was able to discover the Boys and Girls Clubs, which I had then volunteered for Intel and the Boys and Girls Clubs. I've been a teen leader of a group called Keystone. It's like a globally recognized teen leadership group. I was at one point the president of that group for my particular club. I've done so much cool stuff. I've always been exposed to this technology, so my mindset has always been on the MIT, let's really do something epic here, and let's really, I guess they would say shoot for the moon. But I was thinking something like, I'm gonna shoot for the stars and land on the moon. But I'm like, well, I'd rather land on the star because stars are so much further than the moon. Anyway, all I'm trying to say here is that when I'm working on stuff, the first thing I think about is, okay, what are they asking me to do first and foremost? What is the assignment asking me to do? Once I know what the assignment wants me to do, I'm like, okay, wow, I literally have no boundaries. I could do whatever I want to do. I've got to build some kind of sacred place. I said, well, let's use my own dream house. I've already been working on this plan my whole life. I've been literally designing it in AutoCAD since that same middle school, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. Having volunteered with the Boys and Girls Club, I've had a lot of AutoCAD experience. So you could say I have over 10 years of AutoCAD experience. But the reality is that I don't have professional experience. I don't think it matters. I think experience is experience. I could literally say, you know what, sit me next to another person who knows AutoCAD and watch how they work, and then watch how I work. Now, I may not be as efficient as that person next to me who has all this experience, but I tell you what, I'm pretty damn fast. And I say that a lot to people. I'm like, the difference between me and somebody else doing AutoCAD is I literally took this oil painting, and I turned it into some really high detail 3D model in a matter of about really like in an hour. And you know, and not only that, but I'm also applying sacred geometry in real time. I feel like this sacred geometry, this 161 class, it has stimulated me creatively more than any class. And this is not even a core class. I don't believe it's not a core class. I mean, it's not a design studio, but it was a requirement. But anyway, what I'm trying to say here, I keep getting kind of sidetracked because I want to talk more about the what I want to show. But it has stimulated me so much to really go above and beyond and really think about sacred geometry not as this like spiritual kind of art history, what it used to be. Some people say that people don't even really design with sacred geometry nowadays, but if you look at the Apple logo, that was designed with sacred geometry. And Apple is not a very historic company. You know, they've been around in the 90s. I don't know how much more before that, but it wasn't like, you know, the time of the Parthenon or the Temple of Venus or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Those were freaking old places. Or like Stonehenge, for example. I'm sure Stonehenge is probably in some way or form sacred, if not being this grand massive structure. I'm sure that there has to be some kind of sacred design in there, some kind of higher meaning to that. So anyway, back to this project. Like, I'm just so fired up, I'm so motivated. I actually spent about 20 minutes just kind of like verbally brainstorming ideas, which I do sometimes. And then I was just thinking how much I have to do another oil painting, because now I have to render looking from the south back at the north side of this canal, where you're going to see like this row of arches, because I don't even have I'm gonna have to post links to show you. But I've always had the program, what they call in architecture the program of this house, and the program is basically what is it supposed to do. So how is it supposed to work? I'm gonna have 4 main buildings. I've got, you know, a foyer to enter the house. I've got a kind of a formal dining room kitchen area when you enter this house. That's really two of the same thing. I've got a west wing, which has a living room, dining room, kitchen. I have the master bedroom, which connects to the royal west wing. Then I have the east wing, and the east wing is basically guest rooms, its own little kind of commons area. It also has a outdoor living space, like an outdoor oasis, or somebody that might want to stay on the property could live in a outdoor kind of little nook. There's actually 3 of those. And then you have the theater, and that theater is kind of like a studio, places where maybe my colleagues can work, maybe people in the family could go do creative work. And this whole property was to be like a combination of all of the Modern Masterpiece portfolio. That's the name of my company, Modern Masterpiece, and it's Modern Masterpiece by Phil Bailey. And so it's not to say that everything is a modern masterpiece, but it's like I take historic designs and I also add my own modern flair to it, to give it the presence of historic with the presence of also the present and the future. And I think that that's really, really why Louis Icon was one of my architectural inspirations. Now, for those of you out there who are not architect majors, are probably gonna be like, oh my god, this guy's saying so much things that I'm just like, I'm gonna click off the video. But let me tell you, like, this is truly my passion, and just working on the renderings that I worked on tonight, I made so much progress. I literally probably completed about 70% of just the canal design, where, you know, the history of it was, it used to be this curvy long thing. There's boats like Venice where you can like use gondolas to get around. It still created energy. Keep in mind, it still created energy, but the energy was created on a waterfall that overlooked this grand view. So I said, you know what, I don't want to put the money into this grand canal. I really want to focus on the property. I really want people to be able to ride horses around this property. I want people to be able to take walks with a partner or a sibling and really enjoy the space. I would want there to be very few gas cars. I'd want there to be more electric cars and like horse and carriage kind of thing. Really, really historic, but also very modern, like a modern carriage, beautiful horses. You know, there'd be a stable somewhere. We'd have dogs. We'd have most likely chickens. The whole permaculture thing. You know, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess a little give and take here, a little advice for my peers out there is, the next time you do an assignment, really think about how can you incorporate it into your personal life. I guarantee you, you're going to get more out of school than just doing an assignment to get a grade. And I understand some people have 4 or 5 classes. They don't have time to really put all this extra thought into it. But I would beg to differ. I would say, you know what, I think that even if you have 4 classes, I think you can still give it a serious thought about, you know, take 30 minutes and just think about, I have to do a graphic design poster. How could I integrate this into my whole life? Or, you know, maybe you can figure out a way to design a poster that could be used to promote you as a graphic designer. Maybe you could do a poster that would be maybe a gallery piece. Maybe you could submit that poster to some kind of digital art contest that could get you more grant money. You never know until you try. So I guess that's gonna kind of solidify that. But I'm gonna end this off by playing a little bit of Aqua Ballerina, which is the name of a score that I wrote. I'm not a pianist, but I am a composer at heart. I want people of the AMA, some of my directors in music and cinema, to help me bring forth this vision to inspire other young kids and other college students, other graduate students out there that are being entrepreneurs. You know, I want to inspire them to inspire their peers. I think that's how it's going to work. I don't think young generations are going to listen to people like me or people like their parents. They're going to listen to their parents, maybe grandparents, maybe, but they're going to go back to their friends, and whatever is trendy with their friends is what they're going to do. So on that note, I'm going to play some Aqua Ballerina, and I'm going to explain to you the movement about this piece and how the house that I designed is actually called, I recently named it Acqua Corriente, which is Italian for flowing waters, and it's because there's many cascading pools of flowing hydroelectric bodies of water, and I think it's just really amazing. So I guess the last thing I would say as well is that some people think that I talk too highly of the whole modern masterpiece or AMA thing, and I think that just comes with branding. As you're branding yourself, I think you should brand yourself as how you want to be perceived. Like me wearing a leather jacket and a button-up shirt is more modern masterpiece than me wearing a tank top and just a regular t-shirt. You know, this brings me closer to being that professional of tomorrow. So I do take it very seriously, and I think we should all do that. I think we would get a lot more out of our education if we did that. So let me play some of this Aqua Ballerina and explain it as I'm going to go back to doing some AutoCAD because it's now 6:24. And I'm going to go take a nap for a little bit, probably have a snack or something. My eyes are already tired. Here we go. Splash. Waterfall. Splash, fountains, more splash, more fountains. You've got this like climax of things happening, always views to a nice climax, or a nice resolution, a nice waterfall here with more tranquil cascading falls. Now it goes to the pond, which is in the upper spiral of the property, nice and calm. Now you go back to this drama. It goes back to the top. These cascades and this different movement. Breast, breast. I said breast. Blooper. Splash. So. Tranquility. So, I mean, that's it, people. I mean, that's literally like my heart and soul in piano. And I even spent years working on that. So I'm gonna post a link to the SoundCloud raw wave file. You can hear that. I'm posting links to the Behance where you can follow this project, and I'm also going to post links for people that want to join the Academy of Art AAU Facebook group. Hiccups. And I'm Phil Bailey, and I will see you guys next time because I need to go get back to work. Alright, peace. Hey, be inspired. Holla at you.